Forget the takeaway tonight. If you've ever wondered why chicken tikka from good Indian restaurants tastes so much better than homemade, today I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. We're going to marinate it in 2 different marinades. We're going to skewer it up. I'll show you how to skewer, and then we're going to cook it over charcoal until it's perfectly charred and juicy. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. We are going to make some killer chicken tikka today. This is a recipe I've been making for years. It's actually in my cookbook, The Curry Guy Bible, and I'm cooking it today with chicken thighs. You can use chicken breasts, but chicken thighs are a lot more forgiving when you're cooking over charcoal. So I'm going to use thighs, and it just gives it a nice juicy, it's a lot juicier than breast. We've got 2 marinades going on in here today. So I'm going to add the chicken to this first. All that, just kind of cut into nice big pieces. You can always cut it smaller later if you want to put it into a curry or something like that. But for right now, I'm just leaving it kind of nice big chunks, which will keep it nice and moist over the charcoal. To that, I've got some garlic and ginger paste, a couple tablespoons of that. All of the ingredients that you see here are listed below, no matter where you watch this recipe. So don't worry about taking notes. Here I've got some chilies, just some finger chilies, which we blended. You don't have to put those in. They are going to make it spicy, obviously. Then I've got some lemon juice. So this is the first marinade. What the first marinade does is it gets right into the chicken meat. Really just kind of soaks right into the flesh of the chicken there. And by doing that, it's one of the most important steps when making this, because you need that nice, intense, that tandoori flavor from the lemon juice and the garlic and the ginger and the chilies. And I'm just going to mix that together with my hands. This is the first marinade here. I'm going to get that right into the flesh like that. And then I'm just going to put this all to a side. Now let this sit for about 20 minutes or so. And that's just going to let it soak into the meat while we prepare the other marinade. Now the other marinade is quite a few spices here. Like I said, they will be listed below. We got some amcor in there, we got some tandoori masala, some Kashmiri chili powder, cumin, coriander, turmeric, all the old standbys, everything that you'd expect in a tandoori style marinade. And then I've got something that I'm going to hold back. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a secret. And the thing is, every good chef, every good curry chef I've met uses this, both in India and also here at curry houses over here. It is might surprise you, but it's definitely worth trying. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as the chicken cooks. Here I've got some salt and a little bit of pepper. I'm going to put that directly on the chicken. About 200 grams of yogurt here. And I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to that too. And what we want to do is we want to mix all these spices together so that they kind of emulsify with the oil there. You don't want any big lumps or anything. You want it to really just come together just like this. There we are. And also you want it to be kind of a thick marinade. You don't want it to be dripping off. You want it to stay on a bit. And so it's important to just kind of move it around like I'm doing here. Just moving it, whisking it really with my hands. Okay, now I'm going to add that secret ingredient. Boom. You might have just seen it. If you didn't, I'll tell you what it is. Don't worry. We're just going to move it all around in there. We'll put some coriander on here as well. This, like I say, is so important to make sure that every bit of chicken has marinade on it. There we are. It needs to all be really nicely coated. And I'm not planning on cooking this until tomorrow. Cook it on a weekend and get home from work on a Friday and you want to cook that evening. Yeah, do this for about 30 minutes. It'll be just fine. But if you have time to let it sit for 24 hours or so, or even 48 hours, you'll be glad you did. So I'm going to put this in the fridge right now, and we will come back when it's cooking time. All right, so this is now been marinating for a good 48 hours actually, and it's the flavor is just gonna soak into the meat. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and skewer this up. And I wanna draw your attention to this. I've done it in other videos, but when you're skewering chicken or lamb or anything like that, you wanna kind of go in it with a kind of a S shape. Don't just stick it straight through, because if you stick it straight through, the hole will expand as it's cooking, and when you go to turn your skewer, the meat will stay put. It'll stay in the same place, and you don't want that. You want to be able to turn the meat when you want it to be turned. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there, weaving it through as many times as I can, which will help secure it on the skewer. Okay, so this is perfect temperature. What you're looking for is at cooking height, you want to have it be able to hold your hand there for about 2 seconds before it's really hot. And that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on there now. Now you want to give this a really nice, good cook below before you actually even think about turning it. You want to give it a nice char, which will help it stick to the skewer and cook through. Now remember also, we're cooking in 2 directions. We're cooking from the heat, but we're also cooking from the skewer, because those skewers are going to get very hot too. So they're going to cook it fast from the inside. Now, one thing I will say is we're going to be basting this, not yet, but I got some ghee, and we're going to be basting these as they cook. Now, you can use this recipe to have as an hors d'oeuvre, which is what I'm doing today. I'm going to just cook it up, and we're just going to have it kind of as a starter. But if you want to use this chicken in a curry, you can do that as well. If you're cooking it in a curry, I recommend getting the heat really hot and just cooking it and charring it on the outside, but not necessarily cooking it all the way through. This will allow the chicken to have a little bit of time that you can just sit there and simmer in the curry and cook through after you add it. Whereas if you cook it really completely through now and you put it in a curry, it can get a little bit overcooked. Now when cooking tikka like this, remember, black does not mean burnt. That char is flavor. So it just depends on how much char you want, but it's not a bad thing. I usually cook my chicken quite large, and you can always cut it smaller after it's been cooked, but it helps keep it juicy on the inside while charring the outside like this. These are looking great. If you're serving these as a starter, make sure you get your chicken up to 74 Celsius, that's 165 Fahrenheit. Dab them with a little bit of ghee here. Looking good. And I'm gonna just give those one last turn. Look at that char. There we are. Now I'm gonna move these all down to a cooler part of the barbecue. And then I'm gonna put this hot plate in there right on the coals. Make it nice and hot so we can serve it. And we're gonna throw that on top. Okay, that's nice and hot now. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my hot plate. You could put onions or something like that on if you wanted to, if you want to be decorating it. I'm not decorating today, I'm just eating chicken. Oh, this is smelling amazing. And we're going to come right down here. A little bit of lime juice. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. That's incredible. Now I bet a lot of you are wondering what that secret ingredient was. If you've got my books, you might already know. Well, it's Parmesan cheese. Believe it or not, yes, Parmesan cheese. But I'll tell you something, a lot of chefs here in the UK, and I also found a few over in India, are using Parmesan cheese. It gives it a little bit of umami. Not too much. You want about 3-4 tablespoons of finely ground Parmesan cheese. It doesn't taste Italian. It won't taste like Parmesan cheese. It'll just give it a nice savory flavor and help it char a bit. Believe me, it is good. Make this for your next barbecue. I promise you'll love it. Make it for your next curry. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. See you next time.